Hi, Scotland. Hi, Hampton. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Ford. This is Nana. I just came up with a really good idea. Since I can't be with you, I'm going to read one chapter every day for you so we can be together. Doesn't that sound like fun? Okay, so this is the only one I found that's a chapter book that I have at my house, and it's called Ace. Okay. Oh, I don't have a picture. Hold on, let me get the picture. Okay, so this is the picture. Ace, look how cute he is. He's a little pig. I wanted to read to you Charlotte's Web, but I couldn't find it. So this says Ace, the very important pig. And I think this is the same pig that was in Charlotte's Web. Okay, so I'm going to read the first chapter, so pay attention. Ford, sit down, pay attention. This is Nana speaking. Okay, a pig with a mark. Well, I never. Did you ever? Said Farmer Tubbs. He was leaning on the wall of his pigsty, looking down at a sow and her litter of piglets. The sow was asleep, lying on her side, and 6 of her 7 piglets slept also, their heads pillowed on their mother's huge belly. But the 7th piglet was wide awake, I bet you that's Ace, and stood directly below the farmer, ears cocked, staring up at him with bright eyes that had him in them a look of great intelligence. So they're talking about Ace the pig now. So all the other little piglets are like laying there sleeping, but not Ace. I never seed one like you afore, said Farmer Tubbs. See, he kind of has like an accent, so he talks funny. Matter of fact, I don't suppose there's ever been one like ya. In reply, the piglet gave a single grunt. Here's a picture of Farmer Tubbs, and then he's looking at all the little piglets. So the piglets are the little ones, and that's the mommy. Okay, but one of them right there, no, over there, Ace, he's looking up at Farmer Tubbs. And look, there's a kitty cat too. And he's not laying there with the other piglets. He's looking at the farmer, and the farmer's like, I've never seen one like that before. Tubbs was not a fanciful man, but he did, just for a moment, imagine that the grunt sounded more like a no than an oink. Wow. He half expected the piglet to shake its head. Up till that time, the farmer had not noticed anything out of the ordinary about the litter. But what was now catching his attention was the 7th piglet. Strange marking, clearly to be seen once he was standing apart from his brothers and sisters on his left flank. And I believe this is your flank over here, the side of you. There was an odd-shaped black spot. So Ace had a spot right on his left flank. The sow was a mongrel, numbering among his ancestors Yorkshires and Saddlebacks and Gloucester Old Spots. Usually her piglets were white with bluish patches, but occasionally a baby would be born with an odd spot or 2 on it. So it was not remarkable that the piglet should have one. What was extremely unusual was the formation of the single black marking. It stood out clearly against a white background, so that means Ace must be white. And then the spot must be black, so it really stands out. And it was almost exactly the shape of a club in the deck of playing cards. Okay, who knows what a club looks like when you play cards? A club is like a 3-leaf clover. Ask your mommy to draw out a club. Or maybe it's on the other page. We'll see. But that club, that picture of a club, is on the left flank of Ace. Okay, will you look at that, said Farmer Tubbs. It's a club, a single one. And a card with a single marking is called an ace. Young feller me lad, do you know that? In answer, the piglet gave 2 quick grunts. Somehow they sounded different from the no grunt, sharp and patient, almost like, yes, yes. Fancy, said Farmer Tubbs. I wonder you never nodded at me. He scratched with the point of his stick at the back marking on the piglet's side. There's no doubt, he said, what us shall have to call you. I never give names to piglet as a rule. They don't live long enough to make no odds, but us shall have to name you. The piglet stood silent and motionless, apparently taking in every word that was said. Your name, said Farmer Tubbs, is written on you, the ace of clubs. That's who you be. Wow. So that's how Ace got his name, because he has that mark on his left side, his flank. For some while longer, the farmer stood leaning against the pigsty wall, chatting to the piglet. Farmer Tubbs enjoyed a nice chat, and since he lived alone and saw few other people, he spent a good deal of time talking either to himself or to his animals. If things turned out different, he said, now to the newly ace of clubs, I would marry when I were a young man. I likely have had 6 or 7 children by now, like your mom has, but I can't say as I'm sorry. Maybe it had been nice to have a wife to chat with, but you can have too much of a good thing. Only girl I ever fancy marrying. She were a good, strong wench, and she was a wonderful cook. But my, didn't she go on. Talk the hind leg of a donkey. A donkey? Wow. She could. You could never have a proper conversation with she. You wouldn't get a word in edgeways. So this is Farmer Tubbs talking to Ace now about his wife or girlfriend. We was engaged for a bit, but then she broke it off and went and wed a sheep farmer, long, thin fellow named of Hoggett. And I'll tell you a funny thing. Young ace of clubs, are you listening? The piglet grunted twice. As well as sheep, Hoggett had a pig, a huge old white boar, and that boar could run up sheep just like a dog. You would never think that were possible, would you? The piglet grunted once. So it sounds like the piglet is communicating with Farmer Tubbs. So 2 grunts, Wait, let me get, That's 2. Who can grunt? Who can do 2 grunts like a pig? Let me hear you. That means yes. And if you go, that means no. So that's a grunt, okay? And that's how this little piglet is communicating with Farmer Tubbs. So when your mommy says, are you guys listening? Go, I want to see later on your little grunts. The piglet grunted once. Well, it's true, said Farmer Tubbs. And what's more, now I come to think of it, that clever old boar was your great-grandfather. So you never know, young Ace, you might be an extraordinary pig when you are full grown. Except you'll never be full grown, thought the farmer. I shall sell you and your brothers and sisters when you're 8 weeks old. And a few months after that, you'll be a pork. Do you know what a pork is? It's when all the little piglets grow up and they become a pork, and then they sell them. He was careful only to think all this and not to say it out loud. Why, he asked himself, well, the piglet might understand what he was saying. This one might. Farmer Tubbs' fat red face creased into a great smile, and he shook his head and tapped his forehead with one finger. You draft, Ted Tubbs. You are, he cried. Whoever heard of a pig that could understand the Queen's English? Can you imagine such a thing? Ace, can you? The piglet grunted twice. Let's hear the grunt. That means yes. Okay, so that was chapter 1. So tomorrow I'll read chapter 2. You guys learn a lot. Be good for your mommies because they have to teach you now at home because your teachers are away right now. So be really, really good. Learn a lot so you're really, really smart. And I'll see you tomorrow. And I love you. Bye, Scotland. Bye, Hampton. Bye, Lucas. Bye, Ford. Everyone blow kisses.